Okay, everybody like to grab their seats. I'd like to call the Public Services meeting to order. First item is the pledge. Joe, lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the agenda, moved by Romano, supported by Leonetti. Please vote.
Yeah, you made it.
And Phil made it from Lansing. Is that a lot of snow there, Phil?
No answer. On the ground, just the no answer.
Okay. Item 4, approval of the minutes, moved by Kraft, supported by Drolet.
Today's Drolet.
Today you're Drolet.
That's the ethnic French way of saying it, right? Drolet. Item number 5, public participation. Anyone from the public? No one from the public. Presentations, the Traffic Safety Association. We have Executive Director Christopher Lindberger. How you doing, Christopher?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
I thank you for having me today.
Oh, just press the red button if you can.
Sure.
Get right up to the microphone there, too.
This button.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you for having me today. I'm representing the Traffic Safety Association of Macomb County. Maybe you've heard of us. We were created by the Board of Commissioners in 1965 to reduce accident rates in Macomb County. I come here today in requesting our annual support, which we received up until 2008. At that time, with the recession into our state and our country, the Board of Commissioners rejected the annual support and asked us to come back when times were better. So I prepared folders for everybody, explaining a little bit what our association is about and the services that we offer to each district and to every resident of Macomb County. If you don't mind, I'll pass them out.
Please do.
So, as I stated, the Traffic Safety Association of Macomb County was created in 1965. To give you a brief explanation of why we were created by the county, there were so many crashes, automobile crashes in the county, that insurers were canceling residents' policies. So the county had to act, otherwise residents were not insurable. You've heard about situations perhaps in Wayne County of the same, where residents there pay triple the amounts of other counties, other areas. In Macomb County, they were canceling them altogether. So in 2002, the Traffic Safety Association purchased our own building in Fraser. So we have a permanent location on Utica Road. We invite the Board of Directors and the Commissioners to stop in at any time they'd like to view our facility. Tomorrow we have a Board of Directors meeting at the Macomb Intermediate School District at 8 a.m. I have one of my executive committee members today. You might recognize Mr. John Bazamowski, who sponsors our meetings and has been our secretary for many years. So we're very proud to have him active on our association. A little more information about the traffic safety. When you're looking through the folder, I have the 2018 highlights on the right side. And there's 3 pages long. It used to be many more pages long. Until we discontinued receiving our support, we had to eliminate a few staff members. So currently at the association, it's myself and my secretary that run the whole business, and a slew of instructors that are contractual. So amazing, though, that we're able to achieve 3 pages worth of highlights for 2018. Behind that highlights is the classes we offer to the county. So we have classes that we offer at cost to court-referred individuals or any person of the public that wishes to take a class. We have programs that are free that we offer at no charge to residents of Macomb County. Some of those programs are our crossing guard training. Every school district, every city in Macomb County employs some crossing guards. And we are the only agency in Macomb County as a dedicated safety council that is legally allowed to train the crossing guards by the training by AAA Michigan. So last year, we trained over 200 crossing guards in Macomb County for free at no charge to the communities in each district. We give out free car seat inspections for any resident in Macomb County that wishes to have their car seat inspected. They can come to our location. We have several events throughout the county. We train the technicians at police and fire departments. We also perform the inspections for free to any resident. And if the car seat is found to be defective or it's got a recall, then a free car seat is given out. We used to do a lot more free car seat exchanges. However, we haven't been able to give out many more than maybe 10 car seats a year since 2009. So, again, another reason why the county support is so important to our nonprofit agency. So, just a little side note, I made notes for myself, but in 2018, we performed 315 car seat inspections, and out of those 315, we're talking children driving in a car seat in their parents' vehicle, only 47 were installed correctly. So we are the main head chapter of Macomb Safe Kids. We're the only chapter in our area that does these inspections. So 27 new technicians were trained and retrained from various districts, fire departments, police departments all over Macomb County. These technicians are able to volunteer their time at public events to do the car seat inspections and pass on trainings to other technicians that are looking for training. So on the right side of the folder, behind the highlights, there's a Prime for Life and a Life Skills flyer. These are also free programs that the association offers to junior high, alternative education, and high schools throughout Macomb County. These are available at absolutely no charge to our schools, and they are very limited. We've had to reject many schools that are given requests for these programs. We simply do not have enough staff to give the presentations. So a little information on what our agency provides to the county and our importance here. On the left side, I have a few awards we received. I couldn't fit all of the awards from the past. I put the most recent ones. We have a Governor's Award for our hard work that we've done and our dedication to the community. And CARE of Southeast Michigan is about 3 doors down from us on Utica Road. We partner with them on a lot of projects. So together, CARE and ourselves, we really do a lot of good work to the community out there as nonprofit agencies. So just some information for the commissioners to review. And again, I'm here to just let you know that we are a nonprofit agency. We are very hardworking in the county, and we really appreciate any consideration for the annual support that we look to have reinstated.
And before I open it up, when you talk about the annual support, I saw that in the agenda that's you're asking for $9,000. Right now, you're not receiving any money from the county, as I understand it. You're asking for the county to contribute $9,000 per year to your organization, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so I'd like to open it up for questions. We have a couple speakers here. Start with Commissioner Drollet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for your presentation. Appreciate it very much. How is your organization funded in Macomb? What are the types of entities that provide resources or donations or what they might be?
So currently, the other agencies, we're a nonprofit agency. Most of our funding comes from self-pay for individuals that have to take classes ordered by the court system. That's only generally about 35% of our funding. Another part of our funding is a grant through the Macomb County Office of Substance Abuse. That covers a portion of our presentations that we give to the schools at no charge. Other than that, we seek memberships from private entities and community and schools.
And just a kind of interesting note, the Traffic Safety Association, with a little bit of background provided, it seems like you've broadened what you provide, because a lot of it is vaping or financial goals or building relationships or other types of classes that don't seem related to traffic safety specifically.
The Traffic Safety Association is actually two businesses under one roof. It's the Traffic Safety Association of Macomb County and also the Alcohol Highway Safety Program, which was created in 1980. Under the Alcohol Highway Safety Program, we offer classes that also reduce deaths and injuries, but mainly by substances and other drugs and devices of such. So I see you recognize the vaping program, which we got many requests by various school districts to create a program as they were having vaping charges. So we had already had a tobacco awareness program for our youth in Macomb County that the schools were participating in by sending students that got, basically in possession of tobacco products. So our vaping program right now is very popular with the schools. However, with the vaping program and all these other programs we branched out on, they can only sustain the association so much. Students come through for the vaping classes and parents, we charge a fee for the program. As a nonprofit, it's a reduced fee. So, we had to branch out a little more with our vaping class. We offer driver education, which is kind of in the traffic safety realm. And we offer many other classes too, like our retail fraud program that was created by a probation agent in Macomb County to address our retail fraud issue with our various malls and shopping centers in the county. So that
Not specific to traffic safety necessarily.
we find that the classes, like the retail fraud program, ties in more to our alcohol highway safety. A lot of people are stealing, committing fraud for a drug and alcohol addiction. So,
Well, again, thank you for your time and coming in your presentation. I appreciate it. It's probably a difficult time to come there. I know yesterday our finance department came and told us that we'll be looking at spending $2.6 million more than we're taking in this year as a county. And that we're spending in the in the red. And so we're trying to find ways to not spend money as opposed to adding new programs in the future. So it's a challenge, but I do appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Commissioner Carabelli?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your presentation and the good work that you do. I do have a couple of questions for you. What is AHSP?
That's the Alcohol Highway Safety Program. Itself is the name of one of our businesses. It's under the roof of traffic safety. It's also the name of our Alcohol Highway Safety Educational Program for DUI offenders.
Okay. Have you ever, or will you maybe after this meeting, get a hold of probably planning and economic development to see if the CDBG funds is maybe more up the alley of what you're looking to do, depending on who you're taking care of? Because at the end of the day, I see it more that line than coming out of our general fund. So, but we're not, that's something that you'd have to get a hold of the planning department and request that. And behind you is the planning department.
Rita and Brad are back there. They'll help you.
So that would be a suggestion, that would be a suggestion to you. And I know you're different than the, I'm not gonna remember the name of it, the TIA of Michigan, okay? And I'm an at-large member of that.
Yeah.
And our county does belong to it. The Department of Roads belongs to that. I believe the Sheriff's Department and a lot of the other communities. So it's almost like you guys are doing dual work, the same type of work. I don't know if maybe you guys can work together. I don't know the answer to all this. I didn't, be honest with you, I didn't know all the stuff that you did until you explained it today. So I believe it's all good stuff. And I would strongly suggest you get all the planning and that may be the route you need to take. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Romano?
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Chris. I told you it was going to be tough. I forewarned him when we had a little general discussion before the meeting. But you had mentioned something about that you had acquired grants. Have you applied for any grants for just recently that you're waiting on?
No, not recently that we've been waiting on. A lot of the grants require different kinds of, like, we're a very small agency. And like I said, there's two of us that run the business right now, myself and my secretary. So we, at one point, received grant funds through Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors until the economic downturn. Since then, we've been unable to reobtain them. They're looking for different projects. They're looking for different agencies, larger, like, insurance company type.
State of Michigan doesn't offer any. I mean, we all know there's grants out there. It takes a little bit of digging around.
Yeah.
But we all know that they're out there. Just a thought. That's all I have. Thank you, Chair. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Leonetti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just maybe some information for the other commissioners. In my private practice, I've come across this organization many times. Many of my clients have used their services. I know the courts use their services. And they do, as noted by Commissioner Drolet, or Drolet today, whatever you want, they do offer a wide variety of services for people. And I found personally, with clients over 22 years in private practice, that the services they provided this organization has been very, very beneficial. So, you know, I know we're talking about the budget, I know we're talking about being tight with the money, but I can tell you from firsthand user experience, this is a good organization, and it's a tremendous benefit to the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for Chris? Seeing none, we need a motion to receive and file. Moved by Drollet, supported by Romano. Please vote. Thanks for coming here today.
Thank you
Drive
very
safe
much.
too, okay?
Could I just mention something? Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, we're having a breakfast meeting at the Macomb Intermediate School District. There will be plenty of judges, lawyers, prosecuting attorneys, and people interested in traffic safety. You're all welcome to attend. It's a free breakfast. It's a pretty good breakfast. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7A, Vicky Rad. Hi, Vicky. So this is a motion for professional services matrix design group pertaining to the Selfridge Sustainability Study, $270,367. Vicky.
Yes, thank you. I think the last time I was in front of this board, I did make mention that this contract would be coming down the pipeline. This is in regards to the Selfridge Sustainability Study. It's part of a bigger grant that we received through the Office of Economic Adjustment. So part of that is contractual services, where we wanted to pull in an outside consultant who's very familiar with joint land use, not just in particular the state of Michigan, but land use throughout the United States and different projects and different perspectives. So we did receive two bids that came in. We pulled together a joint evaluation committee, which included Macomb County as well as partners, community partners, including some mayors and landowners that all are interested in this land use study. There's a total of 7 of us that sat on that joint evaluation committee. We had initially a first round where we had scored the two bids, really looking at the technical proposal. From that meeting, we determined we probably want to bring in both of the contractors to really understand their scope of work and their competencies and understanding of what we're trying to perform here. Through that process, we determined that we wanted to pull Matrix Group to become our consultant based on their years of expertise. I think what we also were looking for is the experience they have with additional follow-on funding. You know, the way these studies typically work is there's going to be some recommendations that come down, and what we ultimately want to do is be able to take those recommendations and do something with that. And in order to do that, we need some additional funding. So that was one of our key factors in choosing the Matrix Group. And so what you have in front of you is that proposal.
Okay, can we get a motion for this, please? Moved by Carabelli, supported by Dugy. Any questions or comments? I'm looking here on the screen. I don't see anybody. Chair, okay, I see him now. Chair Smith, please.
Thank you, Vic. I just wanted to go back to the beginning of this. You said that the money, the grant, this is money that's part of a bigger grant that we already approved?
Correct.
Or a budget amendment that we've already approved, correct?
Correct. So that was back in August.
Great, nice. Thanks.
That was my question.
Very good. Commissioner Carabelli?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hi, Vicki, thank you. When does this go to? Is this a couple of years?
It is anywhere between 15 to 18 months. The way that we actually wrote out the grant was we were hoping to get this started back in October, so we're already a month behind. So we'd be looking at the January of 2021.
Okay, and this authorization is should cover.
Correct. You know, we had that conversation with our project manager at OEA, letting them know that there were some delays with hiring the consultant, and they are okay with the no-cost extension.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Duge.
Thank you very much. Hello, Vicki. A couple of things. First of all, I'm actually surprised nobody in Michigan went in on this, because Matrix is apparently on their own, or wherever.
I can provide some clarifying questions on that one. So both of the contractors have a presence in Michigan, and that was actually really important to us when we were interviewing them to make sure that they had a footprint here in Michigan. So that was something that was important to us. And in fact, during that first round of evaluations, we wanted to get clarification that they would be available for face-to-face meetings. A lot of the study does require us to pull together the community, and so there's meetings in here where they'll be pulling together a lot of our stakeholders, and we wanted to ensure that they would be able to fly in and be here for that.
Okay, that was one. Two, I'm looking forward to, so what is the actual goal after everything is said and done on all this?
Right.
To expand the Selfridge, to contract Selfridge?
Right. If we can look at maybe the history of what these joint land use studies are used for, it isn't an evaluation criteria. So when we were pursuing the F-35, one of the areas where we got dinged as a community was the fact that we didn't have this joint land use study on file. And so this is actually us being very proactive, looking at future missions. So if something were to come down the pipeline, we have the file. We've done the study. But ultimately, the goal is really looking at compatible use. Making sure that our communities, as well as the Air National Guard base, are working together. That we have perhaps maybe some adopted planning and environmental zoning ordinances that work for both.
All right. Last question, and I don't know if you know the answer or not. The A-10s had gone through a rework of the wing structures. Do you have any idea if the A-10s that are flying out of Selfridge were involved in this wing update? Because with the update, supposedly they'll be flying till 2030.
Right, and I don't know exactly the response to that question. I know that when we look at future missions and sustainability of what's currently at Selfridge, when we did not receive the the F-35s, there was discussion of us perhaps maybe receiving more A-10s from some of the other bases. So that could be a potential.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Brown, you want to say anything?
Just to Commissioner Douget's point, the A-10's been breathed, the federal government's breathed new life in the A-10 program, and they're keeping it up. So the likelihood that A-10s are leaving Selfridge anytime soon is less. And as Vicki said, probably we could possibly get more. The federal government also invests $80 million in hangars over there, that they're upgrading their hangars out in the field. So, which is good news for us, good for everything. So things are stable over there. So totally support what's being proposed. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, please vote. Thanks for
Vicki, I
coming.
like your answer, Vicki, you know that.
Thanks for coming here today, Vicki.
Thank you.
Item B, Director Road, Brian, hello there.
Okay.
Contract with Presidio Infrastructure Technology Equipment for the Vehicle Maintenance Facility, $81,210. Need a motion for this? Can we please get a motion from someone? Moved by Romano, supported by Hall. Brian.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. Seeking approval for a contract with Presidio Incorporated for infrastructure, technology, equipment, and hardware for our vehicle maintenance facility that we're constructing at the Clinton Service Center. This contract is for $81,210.89, and it is within the $1.5 million budget that was previously approved for this facility. So seeking approval of this contract for IT.
Okay, any questions or comments for Brian? Commissioner Drollet?
Barry, what would the technology allow us to do?
Good afternoon. So this contract award is for...
Excuse me, sir, can we have your name?
I'm sorry, my name is Andy Found. I'm with Plant Ryan Cressa. I'm the owner's rep for the project. So the scope, if you will, that this contract will cover includes your network infrastructure equipment, wireless network equipment, your voice over IP or your phone system, as well as a UPS, which is a battery backup system for the IT. So it includes all of those items.
You know how it works, but what will it allow our department to do that they can't currently do now?
So within the new facility, it'll essentially allow you to have internet access, and allow you to utilize a telephone over the voice over IP system.
Provide the communication, or to provide the technological information in the new building.
Yes, sir.
For the communication. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chair Smith?
Thank you, Andy.
Every time I hear technology now, I have to ask the question, does this include any ongoing maintenance or licensing fees once this money is spent on this technology?
So this is strictly just for equipment.
Okay.
It would not include any licensing or anything like that.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Kraft?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So you said equipment, does this also include install and everything that goes along with that?
This will be to furnish and install the equipment.
Presidio is doing all of this?
Yes.
Why can't our IT department do any of this?
So this is based off a master service agreement that the IT department had did in a previous bid. My understanding is this equipment and installation is somewhat specialized. I can give you further explanation if needed.
I kind of figured it was, I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you,
no
Mr.
problem.
Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Quick question, follow up to the two.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to get any licensing contracts in the future from anybody for this equipment?
That is a question that I will have to reach out to the IT group and
I
get back to you.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We just went through a quarterly approval of $2.2 million.
Sure.
In update of the contract, so it may not be now on the equipment, future.
Sure.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, we have a motion. Please vote. Thanks for coming here today, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Go get the salt ready.
Number 8 is correspondences. Need a motion to A and B, moved by Linetti, supported by Romano. Please vote on the correspondence. Me too. Well, waiting for money. There you go. So new business, so I got a new business item. Next month's meeting, Public Services, December 11th, is that right? We're going to have Bill Anderson from SEMCOG come in. He's an expert in roads and transportation. He came up here and gave the presentation about this flyer. So after the meeting, when we talked about the Lucido bill, and Veronica was asking for suggestions on the local gas tax thing, I had called our city manager in Sterling Heights, Mark Vanderpool, to tell him what's going on and get his input, because he knows his numbers and he's an expert on road funding on a multitude of things. And he mentioned that Lucido's bill, bringing back 60-some million every year, that is not accurate. So then he suggested that I get a hold of this person from SEMCOG. So the point being is we want to make sure we have our ducks in order and know the numbers when these things come up. I mean, I'm fine with Lucido coming here, but we want to have experts as well. And anybody else here have any experts or recommendations, that'd be great. I'd like to get someone from MDOT to come up here also, and Brian also. I know he left, but so I'm open for suggestions for anything else on that, if anyone has any ideas. So that's all I have on new business. Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chairman. As a follow-up to what you're doing here, I appreciate that. But would you have him explain the rationale for the annual SEMCOG fees that are in the budget?
Okay. Well, I don't know if he's the guy for that. I mean, we'd have to have Kathy here, right? Kathy Lemanco, or we'd have to get them up here. I think that's a separate. I'm sorry. Lamacchio. So this guy, all I know, he's a road funding guy.
Okay, thank you. Just an
Yeah, that's one thing. You're talking about something else that needs to be looked at, and I'm sure we could get them in.
It's on the budget review schedule.
Okay, are we going to get someone from SEMCOG to come
I'll
in?
double check on it. Yeah, we're trying to get somebody.
So we've had, just to let you know, I've been up here for a long time. I remember in the 90s, we didn't have budget issues in the 90s like we do today, but some commissioners, had questioned things like SEMCOG, Detroit Chamber,
Michigan State Extension.
some others, I can't remember. So there's been talk of that in the past. Andre, you might remember that. Don, you might remember that. I know there's benefits with memberships that we get. Some people might feel the benefits aren't as good as others. I don't know, but I guess that's what we're looking at for those appropriation memberships.
Thank you.
Thank you. New business, anybody? Chair Smith?
Just want to note tomorrow, our opioid lawsuit, we're going to get an update on that from Bernstein. Could not attend, but Paul Novak, the actual attorney that's in charge of the the case will be here tomorrow to give us an update on where everybody stands, not only here, but in Michigan and the country on this lawsuit.
Yes, new business.
New business, Romano.
Thank you. You would just mention this to Commissioner Drolet.
Fun.
Just before the meeting. You know, we had consultants in yesterday regarding the budget, professional consultants. So, and I say it respectfully, when Jacob gets up here and he starts, and I'm going to use the word gobbledygook for me and some of the commissioners, why don't we think about this? Why not, before he comes before us, we know what he's asking for. Isn't there some IT company that we can call in and say, listen, guys, we'll pay you a few bucks, interpret this for us. Does he need all this stuff? This is what he's got. I have no idea what he wants or what he needs, and for the small fee that they may charge, I think it'd be well worthwhile for us to understand exactly what Jacob's asking for. I don't know what he's asking for. I know we approve it, and it's a need, and it's for security, but I don't even know that. So just a future thought for something that Chair Smith might want to think about, to have somebody consult us on that. That's all I got. Thank you.
Did you want to comment, Bob?
Yeah. I agree with you. No one really understands what they're talking about. The problem is by pulling an IT person in to look at just what they're telling us that day doesn't really tie in the whole program. I'd say that what Commissioner Carabelli has been talking about for years, about having a study done on our IT to actually talk about where we're going, where we should be, what should be in-house, what should be out, out of.
That's fine too.
But, and it has been done before, so it's not the first time it would be done, but he's brought it up several times. The problem is, when we bring it up, it obviously requires the cooperation of the IT department and the executive's office. We've brought it up several times. It seems to be frowned upon every time you bring it up by the executive's office, but I certainly will look into it.
You have people sitting in our meetings, that you've had attorneys in here, you've had, what was his name, Jessica, one of the girls from the audit, that young lady was here the last time we had the audit. Why not have somebody sit in, they don't have to do anything, just sit in here and listen to what Jacob has to say, look at what he's doing.
Listen, I agree. There's two things that we know really nothing about, and probably a lot that we don't know so much about, but IT and finance are two things that are above most of our heads, right? F&O, we kind of get it. When they have to pave something, they have to pave something. They have to caulk something, they have to caulk something. But those two departments are things that we either just take for granted what they say, or
He has most of the money.
and that's where most of the money is. So, listen, I'm happy to do whatever anybody wants with that, or to at least push it.
Any other, Commissioner Brown?
On that point, Jacob works for us. He's our team. I mean, the whole thing comes down to trust, right? We're paying these people good money and benefits to work for us. We don't have confidence in what they're doing, then we got a big issue, right? I mean, I know we've got our issues with the executive over procedural things, but we got good people working for us. I mean, where does this end? I guess if it's not IT, then it'll be something else in another department that's doing something. We have to bring our own, have to have our own separate wing of government over here, start creating our own separate wing of paid consultants that second guess what the administration is telling us, and in the end, what does it get us? Except we want bills. I mean, I understand. We went through the IT program since Jim was here, I think. And we went through the whole IT program, went through all the 5-year plan and what they were planning to do. And that was comprehensive, it was in-depth, it took a long
Point of
time.
information, it was Plant Moran that was hired, they did a 5-year study, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that's 10 years old now.
Yeah, okay, well, saying I recall the study, and, we were
There
involved
was
in
a
it quite a
study,
bit.
and I don't think anybody's questioning the intent or anything else. Not one time did I hear anybody here on this board question the integrity or what they're doing. It's a point of, when you see the millions of dollars being spent on maintenance and licensing and everything, okay, it adds up.
Right.
I understand that,
And we're,
but you think they're gonna bring something forward that they think is unnecessary? I mean, obviously they believe it's necessary, otherwise they wouldn't be bringing it forward. They've vetted it, they've sat down, and they know a lot more about it, they went through and they've debated. I'm just saying, we gotta take it with a grain of salt. I mean, let's go, because we can end up spending a lot of money creating our own separate wing of government over here, to second guess with everything that they tell us.
We got time.
And one we were all on the same team, and we could have confidence in what they said. now the taxpayers gotta pay twice because some of us have, competence issues, and I'm not so sure that's the way we wanna go. But I'm open to it, I'm just tossing it out there. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Drollet.
Thank you, Chair. I think both Commissioner Romano and Commissioner Brown are not saying two contradictory things. Commissioner Romano is correct that we are never going to be able to understand the details of the technology and what's needed and so forth. And Commissioner Brown is correct that JACO does work for the county, works for their works for the team and so forth. I spent an hour with JACO today in his office, meeting with him, and discussing at least my personal challenges in trying to get a grasp on what their needs are, technical needs are, and how they can be addressed. And I can tell you, at least from my personal perspective, I do think JACO is a very competent person who cares very much about the quality of the work that's being done in this county. But JACO is also not in charge of establishing priorities when the courts need a certain technological program, or when the sheriff does, or when the clerk does, or whatever it might be. He's an implementer of other people's priorities in many respects. So I have a great, appreciation for JACO, and I really appreciate the time he took to walk through the challenges. I think, I'm worried that if we brought on a technical director, I'm not sure it's going to solve the problems. The problem is priority choosing, not anything else. And ultimately, that comes down to the budget. If we think that we can't afford all these things, we put some pressure on the departments and force them to make decisions. Rather than us trying to decide what the sheriff needs, or the clerk needs, or the treasurer needs, or the prosecutor needs. We just have to say, here's your budget. You find out what you need within that budget, and you make the decisions, and JACO implements them. So we shouldn't try to understand it all. We need to understand our primary job. It's not to run the departments. It's to set the financial boundaries for the departments and priorities in general.
Very good point.
So that's my thoughts. But I agree with every commissioner that's spoken. I don't think anyone's contradicting anybody else. I think we're all expressing our concerns and perspectives, and I don't think they're valid. Thank you.
Very good. Any other commissioners with new business? Seeing no new business, public participation, no one from the public. Motion to adjourn, moved by Trolet, supported by Duje.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah,
So you